Hello everyone, welcome to one more episode of Talking Times. Today is one of those days that we will have to be aware and focus, so I'm not gonna get sidetracked because there have been a few bingos in the pre-chat that we were having here. We're gonna cover game programming, games in general, learning English, a lot of cool stuff. Stay tuned and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and let's get this thing started right after our podcast intro. Hello Wagner, how are you, man?
Yeah, man, I'm alright. How about you?
I'm fine. I'm gonna try to remember. We can talk about Skyrim, Lords of the Rings, and One Piece.
Yeah,
but
nice.
Let's do at least half of the show, and then we because we're gonna get sidetracked, man. Before we start, Wagner, please introduce yourself. If you wanna break the fourth wall, you can look at this camera.
Yo, hello guys. Hello everyone. My name is Wagner Vaz. I am like 27 years old so far. And I am an English teacher. Love teaching English. I love English actually. It's something that helped me very much during my life. So here I am.
Every time I have an English teacher here, I always ask, what's the story? Because it's never a straight line. I was in school, I said, I want to be an English teacher. And then I studied this, and then I started teaching. It's always an accident, and then once we start teaching, it's a one-way road. So what happened to you?
Yeah, if we're talking about learning English, man, it's since my childhood. For example, I played games, of course, all my life. And back in the day, we didn't have Portuguese games and
No.
games with translations in Portuguese. So what I had were games and a dictionary by my side sometimes.
Damn.
So yeah, I remember playing Resident Evil, for example. I was very afraid of it, of course, but when I got the courage to play it and I needed to solve puzzles or things like this, there were some descriptions there that I didn't know that you needed to understand what you're doing. And
the very first, man, there is one of the first missions. You have a medallion, and you need to know where to put in a statue, so you're gonna have a ruby. I remember something like this.
Man, there was one that you to take a medallion, you needed to push buttons on some portraits, and these portraits needed to be the circle of a life. So you needed to I remember till nowadays that there was a portrait that was written a newborn baby, and then that's the first one you need to go until the last one that was the end of the life. So you got to a newborn baby and childhood and teenagerhood and adulthood, and you needed to go through all of the, of course, in the Resident Evil remake, it's completely different puzzle, but back in the day that was this, and it helps me a lot.
And they think we don't learn anything by playing video games.
Yeah,
we do, man. No, I shared the same experience, man. Sometimes I would be lucky enough to have a magazine like Super Game Power, one of those magazines that has the walkthrough.
Yeah, I know.
Then it would help a lot. Other games, Resident Evil is an example, Silent Hill, Final Fantasy VIII, when I was playing, and a lot of text too, I had to get a dictionary. What is it asking me? And then you had to go there. You learn a lot. And when you were doing this, Wagner, did you remember having fun in the process too?
Completely, man. I was dying so many times during the game, and doing the things all over again. In the beginning, I didn't have, back in the day, guys, we needed a memory card to, save the game. And I didn't have one. So I needed to play the game until as far as I could get, and then, the next day, play the game again, knowing everything. So it got me. I have seen the dictionary so many times to solve the same puzzles once back again. So
I was having a similar conversation a few weeks ago, and I mentioned Game Shark.
Oh, yeah.
You remember those?
Game Shark, Code Breaker, yeah.
Yes.
I do.
So, man, it looks like something from... I almost said it looks like something from 20 years ago, but it is 20 years ago or more. Damn.
We're getting old, man. Oh my gosh.
I know. I feel in my bones. You know? I feel it in my bones. But one research that I saw, I'm gonna getting a bit ahead of myself, but we're gonna put a pin and then we'll go back to this conversation. But since you are already invested in the programming games and how is it done is an area that of your interest.
Yeah.
One interesting research that I saw is that games back in the day, they used to teach us some resilience because, you know, there was no tutorial, you died a lot and you had to improvise, or you had only one, you know, cartridge or one CD to play. You didn't have like a vast option. So if you don't know how to play, okay, you have nothing to do. And nowadays is easier and easier. Like literally the beginning of every game is like, if you want to jump, press circle. If you die, you will go blah, blah, and you can pause and save at any time.
Yeah.
How do you see these, man? Do you think games nowadays are easier? This is just nostalgic feeling? I don't know.
I believe it's like about development and focus, of course. Like, for example, I remember Ninja Gaiden from...
that was a tough one too.
From NES, like the first Nintendo. Like, it was... to be honest, like a 30 minutes, 20 minutes game, you know, like if you know how to play, not like
or normal pace.
Speed running, I believe it's 15 to less, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Only that?
Yeah, but like that's the thing, you know, like they were like very short games, but they were so difficult that it looked like you needed like more time to finish them, you know.
Okay.
For example, Super Mario, it was really the first game I've ever played on a PlayStation, like a copy of the first NES. Yeah, and like I believe I never finished in my PlayStation. I only finished like when I got older, so it was more about like taking longer, like for the player knows how to play and gets how to play, so like once they finished they know how to do it, like to the moment. But now I believe it's more about the experience, you know, like they have the story, of course, like there are games that are still difficult, like Dark Souls, for example, but like the games are mostly about the experience and the story and things like this. Like I think only the focus have changed, but like the experience is still good of playing games nowadays.
No, I completely agree. One thing that is interesting too is that they simply didn't have the technology that we have available today to do many different things. You know, the games were very linear. You know, the stories sometimes were like a picture and a text.
Yes.
And for us was amazing. Oh, so this is how the story ends. Interesting, you know. I remember playing Dragon Quest. It's not Dragon Quest. It's from Super Nintendo, the first ones. It's Dragon something. It's an RPG, you know, that you are... It looks similar to Skyrim, by the way, because you are half dragon, half...
I believe it's Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest,
yes.
Yeah. And then you have a storyline there, you know, it's an open world, you know, you explore. It's really, really interesting. But you see the same principles and concepts that we have in open games that we love here, that we were sharing, like Horizon, The Witcher, Skyrim, you know. It was already there. They just didn't have the technology. Okay, so let's put a pin on this before we get sidetracked. Tell me about being a teacher from Times Butantã. Okay, shout out to you guys from Times Butantã.
Hey, Times Butantã, hello guys.
What are the classes that you like there? Do you have the chance to bring these gaming things to your classes too? How is it?
Completely. Like I love, like it's difficult to tell like the classes that I love. Of course, like I love very much the complementary classes, movie, song, and specials. Like they are the best because we can talk like about the subject and go through some other details. Of course, lessons are very good too. I love them, but there we can get to like some subjects that we like commonly, you know. And I have done a special class about Metroidvania games. I have done a special class about From Software games like Dark Souls, Bloodborne too.
Oh, send those to me. I'll send you the One Piece one.
No, okay, very good, very good.
We can do the trading.
Haha, nice.
Nice. I remember, man, clearly one thing that I love about the methodology that we use. It was a lesson one that I had. This is gonna become a bingo too because the second time I tell the story, maybe the third. But we ended up talking about Dragon Ball Z because the students, they were like two otakus. They were not friends. They knew one another at the time they were having the class. I don't know why I joked something about Dragon Ball. And it was lesson one, so articles, verb to be.
Wow.
And, oh, yes. Oh, you Goku or Vegeta? Who is the best? No, is Vegeta is no. And we started using the grammar of the class. I immediately changed the examples that I normally use and transferred to the Dragon Ball universe, and we could practice in lesson one. So this was very nice, man. The chance that we can really get to know the person, connect, and they learn grammar in the process. You know,
there used to be an expertise conversation about Dragon Ball. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, one of the latest, maybe. Yeah, nice. And so just going back a little bit, when you were learning English, the games were part of this learning process?
Yeah, because not because I wanted really to learn English, but I wanted to play the games, you know, like I played like Super Mario, Circus Charlie, Street Fighter back in the day, but when I got like a PlayStation 1, for example, I remember Spyro, for example, that was
the purple dragon.
Yeah, that purple dragon, like there was a stage that I needed to do something, and until nowadays I remember the word building. I didn't know what the word. I believe I was like 6-7 years old back in the day. My brother used to play with me like a bunch of this time, but actually my brother used to play more, and I used to watch him like playing sometimes and help, like being a co-pilot.
It's like watching a movie, depending on the game.
That's it. And I used to help him very much. And I remember that time he was playing Spyro, and then we were trying to look for these words in a dictionary. I remember we like went all around the house to get the dictionary to get the words and things like this. And
no, this is really interesting because it's a way sometimes the technology doesn't have to be a villain. You know, oh, my kid's playing all day. Okay, but how is he doing? What is he learning? I guess if you're a parent, you can check the contents, but it can be done in a way that, like you said, you described something from maybe 1996, 1997, the portraits on Resident Evil 1, you know. And I remember a clear feeling and sense when I got to the school in Silent Hill for the first time, and there was that fucking creepy doll chasing me to the point that I said, oh man, I have played for 20 minutes, your turn to play. And my friend, oh, play more, man, you're doing fine. I said, no. And that's fascinating because it was the technology and the graphics that we were used to. You know, when you see today, you know, the polygons there and the shapes, you say, oh my God, that's not scary at all. It used to be so immersive, you know, back in the day. So this leads to my next question. What are the things that, from a gamer perspective now, okay, not the dev perspective, but from a gamer perspective, what are the things that makes a game to be good for you? Is the script? Is the playability? Are the characters? The story? How difficult it is? And I don't know.
Yeah, like for me, it's the combination of everything, of course. But the most important for me is like, the story is a little like we can talk about it yet, but I believe the playability and the characters, like you need to not only identify but like know the character and care about him or her, you know. Like in Resident Evil, for example, that was mentioning like Resident Evil 3 was the first Resident Evil I have seen my brother play actually.
Okay.
I was so afraid, but like seeing the journey, stars, yeah, like Nemesis, oh my gosh, man. And like everything there, like we didn't even know how to move the character, things like this, you know. But like as
start to go like this.
yeah, like oh come on, like a tank control, what is this, you know, like back in the day. But so like we got used to it, and like the journey of the character and the things that they go through, you know. Like nowadays is even like easier to talk, but it's easier to like make a bad character sometimes too, you know, because of this. Like, I believe the limitation back in the day made you think more about the journey that you make during the game to like develop the character than like conversations and dialogues and things like this, you know.
It makes sense. Resident Evil specifically, there was something that got my attention back in the day. That was the cinematics, because it was the first time Final Fantasy 2, but Resident Evil, you had 2 cities, one city for Leo, one city for Claire. A lot of animations during the game, you know, the time that you are escaping the train, and you have. So there was like a movie. I was like, oh, this is so interesting. What is your take, Wagner, about the RPG aspects of Resident Evil? Is something that, for example, as a player you enjoy, or you think, it used to be more like a tale or action game, I don't like it now, or for you it's still nice? How do you see it?
For me, like any RPG like assets that you put in a game is very good, because they not only like we see the development of personality and things like this of the character, but seeing the development of like abilities, physical abilities sometimes that the characters make is amazing, you know. Like you start, for example, Resident Evil 2 that you mentioned, like we start Resident Evil 2 with Leon, and Leon is like a
rookie cop,
a rookie, and he starts the police, and then they see a zombie, they see like a leaker there, and then like they are so afraid, and in the end of the game, like not only the character has developed, but as you need to play the game, get the guns, get the experience to play the game, understand everything, you as a player also develops with the character. I believe this is very important too, you know.
Yeah, it's true. And depending on the game, it's not only the walkthrough that you have, you know. For example, it's difficult to not to go there, but Assassin's Creed, Skyrim, The Witcher, you have some moral decisions, you know.
Yes, man.
And it's fascinating, man. The Witcher, for example, is the one that I'm currently playing. I see some videos on YouTube, and people since 2016 they have been having a few discussions. Not only Trees and Yennefer, of course, it's Yennefer if you like the books, but but for example,
Yennefer, that's it.
You kill this creature that is a cursed fetus, or you save it, you help the Baron save the kids, you kill the crones. A lot of moral decisions, and yes, bingo. And man, it's fascinating. Skyrim too, we used to have the Imperials or Stormcloaks. That used to be
Stormcloaks here, man.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
I don't like the Imperials. But the real question is not this one. The real question is, you have to fuck the 𝗬𝗲. The 𝗬𝗲.
That's it, man.
I hate the 𝗬𝗲s. I am 𝗬𝗲phobic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, play Skyrim, you will know.
Yeah, play it.
Okay.
And read the books of Skyrim. It's important.
Yeah.
Read in English. That's better.
Oh, that's actually very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are walking there, find an abandoned cabin, find a book, start to read, and then you discover a quest or something. This question is for whoever is watching us too. you mentioned the older games. Ken or Ryu? That's a very important question too.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, Ken or Ryu from Street Fighter, or whatever.
Yeah, like for me, it's still Ryu.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ryu.
yeah.
What about you guys in the chat?
Yeah, Ken or Ryu.
Ken or Ryu, and why? You know, because Ryu is like a slow-paced game. Ken is more aggressive. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, nowadays for me, I have a lot of difficulty to like throw a Hadouken, for example. So I basically like push all the buttons.
I used to play with Vega and Blanca, man. I don't know. I like it. Oh, the monster one in Vega because of the mask and the claws. Jonathan here. Jonathan da Costa. Orgulho da família. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Hello, man.
Yeah.
He's my brother.
Oh, you were just mentioning about him.
Yeah, he's the one.
Jonathan, thanks for introducing Wagner to the gaming world.
Thank you very much, man. For Resident Evil, mostly.
By the way, games in the past used to be a social event. You play with your friends, you go to your friend's house. So it helped with this type of socialization too. You know, this is an interesting aspect. I will read the chat here. But you're married too?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so this is gonna be a very important questions. If I remember Instagram page that the guy has always started with if dramatic pause. If you know what I'm talking about, you're my friend. If you are a husband and a gamer, what do you do so the wife will play with you, will have fun with you? Think about it, and then we can cover that, because something important.
I got experience actually, so
you know?
we get there.
Valéria here. Hey, Wagner, tell us what you like the most about being a teacher. Nice question.
Hello, Val. Hello. So, man, like for real, I love like showing the content and things like. I love explaining. I love talking, you know. So like I love talking about the content. Unfortunately, sometimes like we don't have much time to go into details. But I always loved it since I first like became a teacher back in 2017. So I love it. And what I love about Times is that we have this conversation approach, you know. So we like can talk to the students not only about the content, but using the content to talk about other subjects. This is like amazing for me.
It's not only a descriptive class, you interact.
That's it.
And a tip here, if you're struggling to learn English, guys, talk to somebody. No, I'm not going to do that.
Or talk to yourself.
No. By the way, there is something related to that we can cover too, but it's not that I'm going to say. I'm going to say is you have to have fun in the process. Like when we're talking about learning with the games, you know, English was just a tool to achieve something else that you had interest. You know, it really, really works. You know?
Completely.
Nice. Amazing teacher. Good to see Teacher Wagner here. You know, this was from Anderson.
Hey, Anderson.
One from Claudio. Great conversation. Congrats, Wagner. Okay. One from Claudio here. What was the biggest challenge you have while you had faced? What was the biggest challenge you have faced while playing video games? Was there a game that you say, man, I'm gonna drop it, that's too hard? Or maybe the game was boring, the challenge was go through everything, you know?
Okay, I believe it was Dark Souls, like the first one. Yeah, like Dark Souls, I believe, like until I finished it, I have played it like 5 times sometimes, because like Dark Souls...
You went back to the beginning?
Yes.
Damn.
But like, it's no problem for me nowadays. I love Dark Souls. Like going from the beginning is amazing, all the journey and things like this. But like it was not only about English anymore, because I needed some interpretation, because things on Dark Souls are a little interpretative sometimes. You need to understand, for example, when you like finish the tutorial of the game, you really start the game, there is a character that says, oh, you need to ring the 2 bells of awakening to like continue your journey.
And then you imagine, I'm gonna look for the chapel, there might be a bell there.
Yeah.
And you die because there's a fucking dragon in the first bridge that you ever seen in the game.
Oh, or even before.
You are level 1 in RPG means you can fight rats. and then there's a dragon there.
Yes, that's it. And then like, oh, bells of awakening, and then like that's it. You go to that chapel, you go to that church, and then you find like you fight some gargoyles there, and then you ring the bell, and then okay, where's the other? Like that too, you know. And then like, how come that you need to know that you need to get like on the undergrounds, like in the very underground, need to go through the sewers, and then under the sewers to find another bell, you know, and then like.
Yeah.
Yes, you know.
But that's the thing. It's a very niche game, and I guess the devs wanted you to do this journey to the Sherlock Holmes aspect,
yes,
and the dying and the
explore. That's it.
I noticed something with Dark Souls plays. They're impervious to the dying thing. They just die and say, one more day. And
dying is even
normal.
part of the story of the game, actually. Yeah.
Spoiler, you will find the second bell in a restaurant. It's the small one that bling, and then, you know. Okay. Was there ever a game, Wagner, that you couldn't continue playing because it got boring?
Man,
I'm asking this because from the developer's aspect too, what are the mistakes that, you know, if you're building a game you shouldn't do, for example? How do you see this?
Yeah, some people might want to kill me now, but I would say Chrono Trigger, you know.
Oh, this I haven't finished.
Yeah, it was a Super Nintendo game, actually. It, like, people say very good things about it, like the Dream Team that created it. It's like Akira Toriyama, the one that made Dragon
it's
Ball.
From Square, this one.
Yeah, I believe it was Square Soft before they joined with Enix, and like it's a very good game. Like I play nowadays, I find it amazing. But like I believe it was the thing of RPG that you need to go to one place to another, and there is a lot of dialogue. You know, like in Resident Evil, like the dialogue was little, you know, you didn't have much, and mostly was like to solve puzzles and things like this. And when I got like Chrono Trigger, there was a lot of dialogue that sometimes it got a little boring, like looking everything in the dictionary. So I believe that's when I got interested on like paying attention on English classes at school, for example.
Understand your point, man.
Yeah.
So there was a language barrier there that was getting in the way of having fun. It was like a bumper. You were playing this, a big text. So, and then if you don't understand what is there, is like you want to save the princess or want to commit genocide, and say I click anything and it ruins the game.
Like imagine talking to a person in real life and every word they say you need to look in the dictionary.
Oh, man.
But like you don't have like a cell phone. Back in the day we didn't have like smartphones, so we really needed to look for a physical dictionary.
We're used to use something called a book with pages and words were written there or printed. Crazy things.
Crazy.
Yeah, we are old, 200 years old each one here. Yeah, man. Something from Marcia here. Oh, hello for you, my beautiful nephew and smart.
Nice.
Smart yeah.
Hello, uncle.
Yes. Kisses from my sister, Mariane. Kisses for you, Mariane. What about the opposite? What would be your top 3 best games you've ever played that you can always go back? Do you have a comfort game, for example?
Yeah, I love Dark Souls, but my comfort games are Fallout 4 and Skyrim.
I need to play the 4th, man. I was playing the 3 in the Xbox.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Yeah. Are you watching the series, Fallout series?
I have watched the first season. Very good. I loved it, but I didn't watch the second yet.
I started the second season now, man. Nice. It's a very good time to be a gamer, huh? And a nerd. God of War is getting an adaptation.
We had The Last of Us.
The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think eventually there's going to be a Castlevania live action. We already have the animations from Netflix. Vampires are trend, you know, they have been trending.
They have been for a while.
Yeah. We have The Witcher there. I don't know if it's gonna be something interesting after all the fuzz with Henry Cavill, you know.
Like, honestly,
polemic time.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer Henry Cavill, but
me too, man. Yeah. Is there a game that you want to be adapted that you would like to see?
An adapted, man, I would like very much to see a good adaptation of Resident Evil, first of all, but I don't like Bloodborne. I know that Bloodborne, like they're gonna make an adaptation about it. Yes, I have seen that Sony is working on it, but I'm very afraid because Bloodborne's story is like very, very heavy sometimes.
It's like a Van Helsing, but for adults.
It's like a Van Helsing made by H.P. Lovecraft, for example. Yeah, it's not about werewolves and things like. It's really a cosmic horror, you know.
But that's fascinating.
It's amazing, you know. Like they work some problems. Let's say like this that H.P. Lovecraft had, you know, in his stories. They work in a way that like it makes it even more like horrifying, you know, and without like making like criticizes about like racism and things like this.
Nice. Okay. Okay, one from Ivanisio here. Pride of our family. You deserve it, my nephew. Okay.
Hello, uncle.
Everybody loves you here, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, everybody loves you here. Okay, now tell me a little bit about the things that you like to study and the future plans involving the creation of a game. What's the story there, like?
Yeah, like I have worked in another school there. Like I've been an English teacher there, but I had access to many technology courses there because it was a technical teaching school, you know. And then it was there that I started that like I got the spark about programming, and then I started making like some logic of programmation courses there and things like this. And then while I was doing it, I started realizing like, I believe I can work with it, like maybe in a future, and still make it a hobby, like making games out of it. For now, making games for me is something that I think as a hobby, you know, something I can make there in my free time, and I can like have like all the availability that I may have during that time. But like as a profession, I would like to for future being a programmer, like a developer. And who knows if it might not become a career, like becoming a game developer in the future, you know?
Yeah. Man, for me, it sounds like one of the coolest professions ever.
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine talking to a person and then, oh, really? Like, yeah, you know, that game that you enjoy so much? I was responsible for this, and that.
Yes.
The community nowadays, they are like inside that niche, they are like rock stars, man. I remember people saying, they're gonna develop this game, and the devs, I think it was news from The Witcher 4 that something that the guy who was part of the team who created The Witcher 1 was saying something about the game. So I'm not gonna share too much because, you know, it's unethical. I was part of the other team, but it's a very cool profession. I imagine a lot of work involved because you have a time frame that sometimes is limited. You have a lot of things that they need to go well, and you have the criticism of the public too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I imagine there's a lot of pressure there. What about you mentioned something about this game of the teacher.
Oh, that's Hollow Knight. Yeah. Yes, man, I love this game for real. Like recently, it has been released. Not so recently, the Silk Song, the new part of the game. You know, Hollow Knight. Amazing. I'm playing for the second time now trying to do 100%.
No, you are one of those. Yeah, the platinum trophy.
No, I'm actually not. The only platinum trophy I have is for Dark Souls, because Dark Souls is one of my favorite games for real.
Man, how many hours there?
No, not so much, man. Like I believe 50 or something like this. 50.
Oh, no,
50. Yeah. It's still okay for a game.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's not like in a month. So.
Yeah, but like only because I play on the PS4, and then I know everything about the game. So 50 hours knowing everything about the game, you know? Yeah.
Okay. It's like my third run on Skyrim was something like this. Yeah. But what do you think a game should have, man, to have this rerun capabilities? You know, when you go the new save plus, for example. Because some games, you finish the game, it's an amazing feeling, you know, like, oh man, that has been the journey. You never look back. Other games you finish, and immediately, especially RPGs, you can go back at the beginning and there's still stuff to be done, you know, trophies to find or new ways to find. You know, I'm using a lot of The Witcher because it's the game I'm playing now. But for example,
I get it.
You are in the mid-level. If you do, if you're crazy enough to go Death March, you know, some people would even say that's the real way of playing the game because the real challenge, you know, it's not just a hack and slash. So you have a whole new adventure to go. So what is this thing that the game should have to, you know, guarantee the player is going to come back?
Yeah, I believe it's the playability and freedom, you know, like as you mentioned, Skyrim is one of these, like you finish the tutorial, you know, like you escape Helgen, the first city.
Clueless.
And then like they tell you, oh, you need to go to Riverwood, to that city. But man, for like from that point, you can go anywhere. You have a whole world to explore and you can go anywhere. You can like explore the whole world and not even start the real quest, you know?
Yeah, that's a fun way to play, I'd say.
Dark Souls has this, and Hollow Knight too has this, because like the maps are enormous. You can explore in different ways. Not only explore in different ways, but like use the mechanics of the games in different ways. Hollow Knight, for example, has has some items that you can change how you play the game. Or you can play faster, you can go more defensive, or something like this. Or Dark Souls, for example, you have like you can play as a mage, or you can play as a warrior, or you can use like a bow and arrow, for example. And then, not to mention Skyrim, you know, like if you play with a bow and arrow in Skyrim, you are a god, basically.
Oh, yeah.
The stealth.
I'm not gonna go there because it's gonna be 2 hours, man.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
And it's gonna be a bingo. No,
as I said, like 200 hours of Skyrim, I would have a lot to talk about it. So don't worry.
Fun way to play Skyrim, a parenthesis here. You go to the place with the trolls and the mammoths, get your level 1 bow, you shoot the monster in the ass. You run to the rocks there, you know, it's not gonna reach you. And that's a farming method that you stay there for hours, and then you kill, get the experience, get the money, get the loot. And
my tip is when you get to High Hrothgar, the place that they teach you the 𝗲𝗺𝗶𝗺𝗀, you know?
Stabbing.
Yes, you get in the stealth mode, stab them as much as you like, and then you get to 100 of stealth.
You see, these games, Wagner, it's incredible because I see that the community is very united and shared.
Yes.
Oh, guys, I figured out a way to do. I saw one day in The Witcher, you go to a place with some sunk ships. They are the drowners there, you know.
I get it, yeah.
Then you enter the water, you have the crossbow, you you kill, and then you do this, go back, they respawn. Then you take that potion that is the white whale potion, something like this, that you can breathe underwater for an extended period of time. And you can loot, farm. There is one, you throw a bomb at the cows, and when the cows respawn, they die, you get the hide, and then you sell the hide for a tavern. Man, crazy things. And they share.
Nice.
You can, it's interesting. All right. How long does it take on average, and what are the challenges involving in making a game like this, man?
Yeah, like
You can use maybe the Hollow Knight involved. So, what can you share with us? It's for some people understand the behind the curtains. It's a team of 5 people, 200, and how many people are involved in the creation of a game?
Hollow Knight, for example, like there were 2 people actually.
2 only?
Yeah, 2 Australian people. Like there were these game jams, you know, like game jams are events that they like give a theme. For example, the theme was like 10 seconds. Or something like this, I don't remember for sure. But like it was a time limit. And they needed to make a game that involved its time limit. And they made about a night, it was this one already,
nice.
They needed to eat all the time, like to kill some enemies and eat so that they could survive more time, you know. And in the meanwhile, they needed to look for some bigger enemies to give them like 3 masks, and then like the knight could save his friend. It was a very simple game, but that created all the idea like of the character. And there was another game jam that the theme was underground, like so they needed to make something related to underground. And then the 2 guys couldn't make a game that time, but that theme made them think about the idea, and then they created a game with this character that they had already created.
This is the one with the needle.
Yeah, the one with the needle. Yeah. And then like it's an insect, and they made a game about a world of insects that the character needed to go underground, like in a behavior, you know, for example. Mm-hmm. To like get to know everything, all the world, to get to understand what happened there, and like what created all the infection in the game that there is involved in the story. And like it's funny how like simple ideas can create bigger and biggest stories, you know.
Yeah, and I had the impression that this was like a linear game, so it's not.
It's a Metroidvania, you know what it is?
No,
it's like it's a game that is like 2D for sure, but it has a very open area, a very open map that they can go and come back many times to manipulate. There are places that they can go and they cannot continue because they don't have a certain ability. So they need to keep up exploring and then get an ability and remember to come back there and continue exploring, you know.
It reminds me of a game from PlayStation 1, which is one of my favorite, that is 𝗀𝗵𝗺. Remember this?
𝗀𝗵𝗺, yeah,
it's the same idea that you will, for example, you will have to kill a boss. This boss will give you some claws that like you steal the ability. Now with the claws you can climb a place and access to a tunnel that would lead you to another map. It's something like this.
Something like that. I believe 𝗀𝗵𝗺 would be more related to Dark Souls for sure, because Dark Souls has some like aspects of it. But like I believe, have you ever played Castlevania Symphony of the Night?
Yes. I would say that is the best Castlevania. I love the ones that came after the Lord of Shadows. That's kind of the story.
I know, yeah.
Spoiler! No, Story of Gabriel. Story of Gabriel.
Very good, yeah. But like it's very, very much similar to Symphony of the Night, Hollow Knight, for example. But there is this, like they have much of these aspects. Of course, like creating a game, there are lots of aspects that you need to think about, like design and programming, but sometimes soundtrack, for example. So like I would say that the thing that I am trying to develop so far is only the programming stuff. It's like the backstage of it, you know.
Like the back-end aspect.
Yes, the back-end, that's it. It's like, when you're playing, for example, Assassin's Creed, and then like you are walking and then you, like, I don't know, you run into a carriage that has apples and the apples fall in the ground and like bounce sometimes. Like these little things, you know, are the things that I am trying to develop right now, like the programming stuff, because like the design stuff, I believe there are some abilities that I don't have, like yet. That's it.
There is something related to what you're saying. I don't know if you agree with this, but the first impression that some people might have is, oh man, you want to develop the bouncing apple there in the game. That sounds boring. But when you think of a very good game, these are the very things that make the immersion feels real. For example, there is a detail in The Witcher 2 that you use that shield, you know, the sign. And if it's raining, it causes ripples there. What the fuck? Somebody had the idea, man, eventually it's gonna rain in the game. If you're with the sign here, it's like an energy shield. The raindrops causes those ripples. It's a detail in the game that could completely, you know, be missed. But the fact that some dev thought about it, and then when you are playing, it really feels like you are in like a vivid real world, you know. And like you said with the apples, the details, the players are gonna try to break this. when they do, let's give them a surprise.
Yeah, like, does it make any difference on the gameplay? No, it doesn't, but it shows that they really cared about it.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and other simple things like footprints or some game. Man, I don't know if I'm saying something silly, but I imagine this type of details is what makes a game be huge in terms of actual size and be a heavy game, because you kill a character, I don't know, at the beginning of the game, 30 hours after you go to the same spot and the loot is still there.
Yeah, like people talk very much about Red Dead Redemption 2. Have you ever seen about it?
Yeah, I have played on the first, but the second one is on my list.
The second one was on my list too.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then like people talk very much about like forests, that you can go to this forest, and then like after a while you play the game, the forest, like people cut down the trees, and then like after a while they started building a city there, you know. So like the game like the world continues independently of you, you know.
Man, that's amazing.
Yes, you know, like you do your adventure, you do everything, but like
you feel like you're in a real world.
Yeah, like in our world, things don't stop, things don't depend on you, you know. It's good, like the world is alive.
This is very interesting, man. It's all man, I feel like playing right now, you know?
That's the way.
I'm thinking, because it's so many things involved there, you know. I guess the team and what is the part of involved? What is the part regarding the creation of the game that is more demanding? Is creating the storyline? Is developing the characters? Is this technical aspect that you were saying about the programming?
It's even difficult to say, because all of them are very important, you know, like the design of the characters, maps, or things like this are very important. Like they need to be something that can like call people's attention, you know. Like for example, in Hollow Knight, again, something they mentioned very much is that like, all the map is gray, you know, everything is gray and things like this. So like people will think about the things that they see very much, and then like while they're playing, they're gonna see like some things that is more about the gameplay. Oh, if I kill for example in Resident Evil, if I kill this zombie here and then I go out of the room and go back again, like where is the zombie, you know, things like this, like it doesn't disappear. So like they need to think about memory, for example, like it can take a lot of the memory of the game, or like the console you're playing or the computer, it will demand more about it depending on the aspects that you put in the game. So it's even very difficult to think about the most demanding thing. I would say like about everything I know, that is the programming part, because it's what I really know so far. Because you need to think about these minimal details, you know, like, for example, your character can jump, and there is a platform that he can jump, and like there is another platform that is an invisible wall, you know, and you need to make it real, like, the player needs to think that you cannot go through there, even though he can make a lot of movements.
And he will try, as we do.
That's it, like in Resident Evil, for example, there is a locked door, but I have a bazooka, you know, like how come I can't open it? So like they like to think about these things. Like nowadays it's even more difficult, because like games are so developed that like it is demanded to have like some aspects that the player might think to do while playing it.
In Resident Evil, I remember a genius solution that is, you go to a place, it's gonna say, there is a fire behind the door, I shouldn't open it. It's like a message, like, oh, stop. It's like, this is literally the dev saying, stop, it's not here.
Yes, that's it.
In other games, what the devs will do that I think is amazing, they will put a very overpowering enemy there. It's like, it's not the time for you to be here now. or a gate which needs a key, for example.
Dragon Quest you mentioned. Dragon Quest has an open world. You can go anywhere, but like if you go to the incorrect place, you'll see an enemy level 100 that you might not be able to kill. So, I might not come here now.
Yeah, do you do this too, man? Sometimes I find a place like this, and I am the early stages of the game, so I imagine, and the loot here would be amazing. And then I try to figure it out a way that sometimes takes hours to kill them. So let's say the enemy has like 5,000 HPs, you know?
Yeah, I do.
And my weapon causes 1 point of damage. So I will sneak, I'll find a place that I can... That's the sound that, you know.
What we call cheese the game.
You know, and then I did this a few weeks ago, and to a place that the enemy was, you know, high level 30 and I was level 4, you know, something like this. So are you one of those two, or like you say, okay, it's not that, because in Dark Souls it's hard. For example, in the first Dark Souls, there is a dragon at the very beginning of the game, you know.
Yes.
I don't think it's possible to kill that dragon at the beginning of the game.
It is, but like...
It had to be insane.
Yeah, Dark Souls, there is the thing about skill too. If you have the skill... Yeah, but like you roll in different ways depending on who you are confronting, you know? That's the thing,
You roll in different ways.
Yeah, like there is a boss that you need to go like Super Saiyan, for example, to fight, but like it depends a lot on it. It's like you can defeat anybody, you know?
Really?
Anyone in Dark Souls. It depends on your skill, of course. Like, oh, you do 1 of damage, but if you have the skills to like dodge every attack of the enemy, okay, you can do it. Like the dragon, for example. The dragon has a thing that if you cut off his tail, you receive a very strong sword. If you like cut only the tail, and you can defeat the dragon, of course. I never did it because like it makes no difference in the game actually. But like you can. For sure.
I get that, but why this game has so many lovers now. It makes sense. Yeah, because you're gonna challenge yourself to the limit, you know.
That's it.
Yeah. So, but in this kind of games, every little detail counts. If you have a pet that has a little drag, for example, or the response if not precise, you're not gonna be... It starts to become technical, you know. Oh my goodness, 0.5 seconds here interferes in the dodging, you know. Man, that's crazy. Okay, let's go back to the chat.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, one here is, send hi to our family from Ceará.
Hello, family in Ceará. Hello.
Ivanizio here.
Hello, Ivanizio. Hello, Tio.
This is from Marimaru. Which Dark Souls is your favorite? There are how many? 3 of them?
3 of them.
The Demon Souls is like the 0 game, something like this.
It's like another franchise, let's say like this. Dark Souls 1 is my favorite one. Like Dark Souls 1 is a Metroidvania, like Castlevania, I would say. Like it's a interconnected map that you can go all around. You need to know everything. While the others, like they still have some kinds of these things, but I believe Dark Souls 1 got me the most, you know. It was my first one, so I got that nostalgia.
Yeah, it's the only one I played actually. You know, it was so frustrating, man. The skeletons at the very beginning of the game killed me so many times. It was so silly. I was like, oh no, because I had the impression, silly me, I didn't know anything about the franchise. I imagine it was like a dark hack and slash type of game, like God of War. Just go there like, and then
first mistake.
And I was like, well, it was probably attention. Then again. And then this guy like, and I was like, what the hell is happening? You die.
If you got to the skeletons in the beginning of the game, man, I'm sorry. Like it's not the correct place to go, but the game doesn't tell you that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But at least being fair about what we were discussing before. they don't give you everything chilled up to you, you know. Just
need to
swallow.
think.
You will have to explore, and in this aspect is similar what we do in real life. People can give you some hints, some advice. Sometimes you won't listen because they don't know better. What the hell? I know better.
Even the story of the game, you can get to the end of the game and like, what happened here? What did I do? What happened to this world? I don't know anything, you know? It's like the real world, like as a lot of things happen before we were born. A lot of things happen after, will happen after like we die. And like people don't need to tell us that.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Nice. I had the feeling there was funny. I played to escape reality and have fun. What has happened with me was what happens, metaphorically speaking, to the real world. You know, I'm getting angrier. You know? Anyway, silly me. Now let's go back to that tricky question. How can husbands and wife find harmony, you know, with the gaming world being here, you know? Your wife is gonna be here, right?
Yeah, she's gonna be here, guys, on February 25th, okay? Yeah. So, man, like we have, of course, different hobbies, you know. Like she likes playing, but she's not into video games like I am. She's more into books and things like this. She loves it, but we find some games to play. For example, have you ever played or knew about Overcooked?
No.
Man, Overcooked is a game that you need to, let's say, like to work in a kitchen of a restaurant.
You are like Jacan.
Very good. It's perfect. And you need to prepare like recipes. You have like what people ask for, and then you need to make those recipes like soups or hamburgers or things like this.
It sounds like a game I would see in a Do Games type of channel.
but like there are some kitchens normally, but like there are some that in a pirate ship, for example. So like the ship like keeps like moving, or there is one that is in a spaceship that you need to go like from one spaceship to another, like take the ingredients in one and then take these ingredients to the kitchen in another spaceship.
Nice.
And then it needs a lot of, let's say, management of time and management of tasks, you know. So like, you are going to cook, you are going to cut the ingredients, you are going to clean the dishes, you are going to make this, and then like we used to fight a lot during this. Like we were, you are not doing that right.
Like a real kitchen.
But in the end, like it was like we developed not only in the game, but we developed our relationship, you know, like our communication and stuff. So we can get through this like by some games, you know. And some games that she plays by herself, and then I help her sometimes too there, but she mostly plays by herself because she's a very good player too.
Man, I remember a very fun experience. There is this game of like the movie Van Helsing. There is the game from PlayStation 2.
I know.
And I was playing in one emulator there, hard. and then she was watching. I said, it's from Van Helsing. She loves the movie, you know. So I want to play. And then she started playing. I was like, oh my God, I got married with the perfect person. I'm so proud. She got so angry that I loved her even more because she was like, stupid fucker, slow, look at it. Because Van Helsing has some dark, not Dark Souls, some God of War mechanics.
Yeah,
you know,
Slash.
Yeah, and she was like, look, he's so dumb, he's slow, he doesn't. It was fun to see, fun to watch.
I understand, man. It's fun.
So are you a more single player type of player, man?
I am more of a single player.
It's a peaceful life, right?
Yeah, like multiplayer, I only used to play with my brother, as I mentioned, Jonathan, that is there in the chat. Hello, Jonathan. And like, with my wife nowadays. I used to play with my sister too. We used to play some games, but online I don't like very much because I'm really bad in competitive games.
I play to explore and chill, you know. It makes more sense. But the thing about the husband and wife is the bonding thing that is amazing.
Yes,
you know, couples, you have to do stuff together. The bonding thing is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There's something related to Canada in your future plans, right?
Yes,
Tell
man.
us about it.
Like me and my wife, we always talk about like getting out of the country, like to live outside the country for real. We talk about many places. She loves talking about like Europe, for example, or Great Britain, any place there, you know, like British English. She loves it. I always say that I love Canada too, because I would like to go there because it's like USA but not USA, you know.
Yeah,
And like they have the French. I would love to learn French too. It's one of my plans actually.
The landscape looks amazing too.
Yes, man, completely.
I love the idea. It's very stupid what I'm gonna say, but I love the idea that I am going fishing and then I see a bear.
Yeah.
Can potentially kill me. Yes.
Yes.
But I don't know. I love nature. Man, we're already running out of time.
Oh wow!
I told you, time flies here.
Time flies. Oh gosh.
Okay. So your wife's gonna be here next week. Eventually, you are welcome to come back. We could. Oh, by the way, thanks. We could hold our horses and not get sidetracked by talking about One Piece.
Yeah, man. Oh, if we started, man.
We almost played the trailer here to react. You know. Thank God we didn't. But we can do this in another opportunity, man. It would be nice.
They're good.
Okay. Final message to everyone watching us.
Oh, guys, like my experience of starting learning English was with video games, something that I still have fun and I love doing very much. So learning English doesn't need to be something that you sit on your desk and you like open a book to study and sit. No. You can include that on the things you like. I always tell the students, like, watch a series that you like. I always tell, like, oh, I used to watch Spider-Man 1. I remember, like, Tobey Maguire's, you know? And, like, I know every scene. I know every speech they do. So, like, when I watch it in English, even though I don't understand English, I know all the contexts. So, like, that's one thing that I say. Like, include English on the things that you like. It doesn't need to be, like, something that you let's study English, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be fun.
Yes.
I am like this with Lord of the Rings, man. Oh, now it's that time that he's gonna say, you have no power here. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. That's a good reference.
Good.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much, man.
Well, be back, okay? Be back.
Certainly.
And guys, thank you for everybody. And again, everyone loves you. You know, a lot of messages here.
Nice.
Don't forget, guys, subscribe, leave a comment, send this to somebody who wants to practice their English. We're going to be here next week, same time. And this episode is going to be on Spotify tomorrow. Bye-bye. See you.
See ya. Bye-bye.